Hello and welcome to this section, which is looking at PCN data packs. We'll cover what data is available, how this has been developed into a PCN level dashboard, and then how that dashboard is being used for data packs for each PCN. So there is PCN level data available on Public Health England's fingertips website on the cancer profiles, which have kind of been around for about 8 or 9 years, publicly available, so all the data is kind of available to use. They have got they have added in PCN level data now, but it's just not in a kind of good layout or kind of easy to use, and it's very difficult to kind of compare the practices within a PCN and compare the practices across the CCG, which is what we've tried to do with the dashboard. So what indicators have we included and how they relate, and they all relate to the DES. So there's the screening figures, bowel, breast and cervical screening, emergency presentations, and then some indicators around 2-week wait referrals, conversion rate and detection rate. So the dashboard, which this is a screenshot of the kind of the page of the dashboard, has been developed by myself and Kevin Bailey, the analyst at Merseyside and Cheshire Cancer Alliance. This is a kind of screenshot, but I wanted to show you each section in a bit more kind of detail. So the top left section is this, which is a series of kind of click boxes where you can pick the different metrics that we've just gone through, the time period, the CCG, and then the individual PCNs within that. Then we've got a section on a little bit on target. So that's for the 3 screening programs. There's 3 kind of national targets for that. Then the PCN average, where it says all PCNs, Halton, the CCG average, where we're on Halton at the moment, and the England average. And then that's plotted on a performance over time chart. And then we've got a practice breakdown, so all the practices across Halton here. So this is for detection rate. So take Appleton surgery there, we've got 33, count of 33, a total of 62 and a value. So that's 33 cancers diagnosed via a 2-week wait out of 62 total cancers for that time period, which gives a value of 53.23%, which is then plotted in this chart. Now, this is where we wanted to keep all the practices across the CCG. So there you've got all the Halton CCG practices. We've got a CCG average and an England average. The dark blue line is the England average, and the CCG average is hidden by that because it's very similar. So that's why you can only see the dark blue line. What we've then done is, obviously with the click function, is clicking the PCN. So we're going to pick one of the PCNs. So we're going to click witness PCN, and there you can see it's highlighted. And then that changes the chart to this, which is then gives you all the practices across the CCG, but highlights the practices within that PCN. So you've got there for the where there's no target, it's just 2 shades of purple. All the practices are identified for that PCN and still with the CCG average and the England average. And then the chart on the bottom of this screen, we've got for bowel cancer screening uptake. Now this has obviously this has a target, so there's a national target for that, and there you can see that the identified practices within that PCN are either red or green, whether or not they've hit the target or not. So you can see there's a split of 4 practices that haven't met the target for that PCN and 2 practices that have. That just gives us a kind of idea of the kind of variation between PCNs and how perhaps we can learn from different practices, and whether different practices are doing anything different, or whether it's just simply down to the demographic of that practice. So the dashboard is an Excel format at the moment, and the issue we have is around digital signatures. So because it uses macros, which are kind of quite sensitive and require a particular security setting, they require a digital signature. So I've signed all the dashboards. For example, if I send them to a Macmillan colleague, that then digital signature would need to be applied by somebody within Macmillan, somebody within the NHS, if I sent it to somebody within a practice. So we've made the decision that actually the dashboard is not going to be shared in that format, but I think it's just important to show you that dashboard in its kind of current format. But what we're going to do is the Alliance have agreed when the next lot of data comes out, which is in December/January on Public Health England's Fingertips website, they're going to, when they update the dashboard, they're going to update it to Power BI. And for those who have never heard of Power BI, it's Excel that's drank a kind of Red Bull, and it's just kind of all singing, all dancing, a little bit more powerful, hence power. And it's online as well, so it's all this data will be kind of online, and then a link can be sent and easily accessible by anybody then. So that's, at that point, we'll be sending kind of the link to that dashboard out. But until then, what we've created is a kind of data pack, which has got a whole raft of information in around the PCN DES specifications, what's needed for the spec, some ideas of kind of action plans and different things like that, but importantly, some data as well. So all those indicators that we mentioned previously are included in these data packs, and this is just an example of what it looks like. So this one's for bowel screening. We've got here Knowsley CCG, Kirkby PCN, and like we've previously seen, all the practices across Knowsley, the practices within that PCN identified, the CCG average, the England average, and then up the left-hand side, we've got those figures for the target, the PCN average, the Knowsley CCG average, and the England average. And then just another example of that is for emergency presentations, where it hasn't got the red and green for the target, but the same principle applies. And these packs are available for every PCN. They take a short time to pull together, and it can easily be pulled together. It's just put a request into Louise Roberts, our facilitator manager. She'll put you in contact with the facilitator that's kind of looking after your CCG area, and we can develop the pack and present that at a PCN level meeting, or talk you through it on a kind of individual basis. And that's that really. Thank you very much.